You wake up in the middle of the night and can't fall back asleep? Discover the real reason. You open your eyes. It's 3:17 a.m. The room is quiet, but your mind isn't. Thoughts rush in. Bills, deadlines, regrets, what ifs. You stare at the ceiling, hoping sleep will return. But it doesn't. And it's not just tonight. This keeps happening. You start to wonder, is something wrong with me? Is this normal? Why always at this time? You've tried tea, breathing, even scrolling until the screen blurs. Still, nothing works. But what if the real reason you can't stay asleep has nothing to do with your bedtime routine? Let's take a deeper look. Before we dive in, if this topic resonates with you, if you've ever felt alone during those silent hours, consider subscribing. This channel is all about helping you reclaim your nights and restore your peace, one video at a time. You wake up in the middle of the night, again. The room is quiet. The clock glows 3:17 a.m. You try to go back to sleep, but your mind won't cooperate. It's like something inside you is still on. And the worst part? This keeps happening, over and over. In this video, we're going to explore what might be behind this pattern. Things that most people overlook, but that quietly disrupt your nights. Stick with me. What you learn today might change the way you sleep and feel. But why does your brain wake you up right at 3 a.m.? It turns out, it might be a chemical culprit. You've probably heard of cortisol, often called the stress hormone. But here's something most people don't realize. Cortisol doesn't just respond to stress. It follows a daily rhythm, like a built-in clock inside your body. In the early morning, between 3 and 6 a.m., your cortisol levels naturally rise. This is part of your body's way of waking you up and preparing you for the day. But here's the catch. If your cortisol levels are too high too early, that early morning wake-up call comes way ahead of schedule. Suddenly, it's 3 a.m., and your body thinks it's time to go. Why would this happen? Things like chronic stress, overthinking, and even poor sleep habits can confuse your internal clock. Your body stays in alert mode, pumping out cortisol when it should be winding down. You might think, well, I'm not that stressed. But stress can be sneaky. Even things like scrolling on your phone before bed or worrying about tomorrow's to-do list can spike your cortisol without you realizing it. Understanding this rhythm is the first key to taking back your nights. And in the next section, we'll look at why this cortisol spike causes an even deeper chain reaction. Have you ever noticed that it's almost always the same time, 2 or 3 a.m., when you suddenly wake up and can't fall back asleep? That's not a coincidence. There's a powerful reason behind it, and it has everything to do with a hormone called cortisol. Cortisol is your body's natural alarm clock. It rises in the early morning to help you wake up feeling alert and ready. But in people who are under constant stress, or even just emotionally overloaded, that internal clock starts malfunctioning. The result? Cortisol starts rising too early, sometimes in the dead of night. When this happens, your body gets a wake-up signal, even though your brain is begging for rest. To make matters worse, cortisol competes with melatonin, the hormone responsible for making you feel sleepy and stay asleep. High cortisol, low melatonin. And there you are, wide awake at 3 a.m. with your mind spinning. It's not just stress at fault. Poor blood sugar regulation, inflammation, and even late-night screen time can raise cortisol levels. That's why it's so important to understand what your body is trying to say. Waking up at the same time every night might not just be a bad habit. It could be a cry for help from your nervous system. So why is 3 a.m. such a magical price or miserable hour for sleep? According to both modern science and traditional medicine, that time of night is when your body enters a deep repair mode. Your liver and other detox organs are hard at work, processing everything from hormones to food to stress chemicals. But if you're not in a calm, deep sleep by then, your body can't do its job properly. In traditional Chinese medicine, 3 a.m. is the time linked to the lung meridian, a system believed to manage not only breathing, but also grief, sadness, and emotional release. Many people report waking up with a heavy chest or restless thoughts around this hour. It might not just be your body, it could be unresolved emotion. Meanwhile, modern research shows that around 3 a.m., your core body temperature starts to rise slightly in preparation for morning. If your sleep environment isn't right, too warm, too noisy, too much light, this change can be enough to wake you up. And then there's your mind. If you go to bed anxious, your brain often reboots those thoughts during this vulnerable time, making it harder to return to rest. It's not just coincidence. Your 3 a.m. wake-up may be a message from your body and mind. When you wake up and can't fall back asleep, there's often one invisible culprit: cortisol. It's your body's main stress hormone, and it's supposed to follow a natural rhythm: high in the morning to help you wake up, and low at night to help you rest. But if you're under constant stress, even the kind you ignore during the day, your body may keep pumping out cortisol long after the sun sets. Here's the tricky part. Cortisol and melatonin are opposites. When cortisol stays high at night, melatonin, the hormone that makes you feel sleepy, stays low. It's like trying to drive with one foot on the gas and the other on the brake. You might feel tired at bedtime, but by 3 a.m., that lingering cortisol spike can jolt you awake. And once you're up, your mind often starts racing, not because you want to overthink, but because your brain is still in alert mode. It's not just mental. High cortisol can also affect your thyroid function, your metabolism, and even your weight, making sleep problems part of a larger chain reaction in your health. Understanding cortisol is key. It's not just about stress, it's about reclaiming control over your nights. If you always wake up around 3 a.m., it's not random, and you're not alone. That hour holds more meaning than most people realize. In traditional Chinese medicine, 3 a.m. is linked to the lungs, the organ associated with sadness and grief. Spiritually or emotionally, this can be a time when unprocessed feelings surface. But there's a biological explanation too, one that modern science can track. Between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m., your body is supposed to be in its deepest rest phase. Your liver and other detox systems are hard at work, and your brain is clearing waste through the lymphatic system. But if your sleep is shallow or disrupted, your body may not complete these essential cleanup tasks, leaving you feeling foggy or anxious the next day. Waking up at 3 a.m. can also reflect low blood sugar or a temperature shift, especially if you've had alcohol, heavy meals, or too much caffeine during the day. And here's something else. This time of night is quiet. No distractions, no noise, just you and your thoughts. If your brain is overloaded, it takes this moment to unload everything: worries, reminders, regrets. But don't panic. Waking up at 3 a.m. isn't the problem. What matters is how you respond, and we'll get to that next. So you've woken up, and your mind is racing. The worst thing you can do? Fight it. The more you try to sleep, the more alert your brain becomes. But here's the good news. You can gently guide yourself back into rest. The trick is to shift your focus away from performance and toward peace. Try this. Keep your eyes closed, breathe slowly, and focus on your exhale. That long, slow breath out signals your nervous system to calm down. Avoid checking the time. That only fuels anxiety, and resist picking up your phone. Even a dim screen can reset your brain's clock. Instead, try a mind dump. Keep a notepad by your bed. If your mind is spinning with tasks or worries, write them down. That alone tells your brain, I won't forget this. You can rest now. Another powerful tool, a boring audiobook or a calm voice podcast. Something slow and unengaging. No thrillers, no news. You want to gently distract your thoughts, not stir them up. The goal isn't to fall asleep fast. It's to lower your arousal level and create the right conditions. When your brain feels safe and unstimulated, sleep returns, not as a command, but as a response. The secret to sleeping through the night? It's often hidden in the little things you do during the day. Start with sunlight. Getting 10 to 15 minutes of morning light tells your brain it's daytime. Resetting your internal clock and setting the stage for melatonin production later on. Next, limit caffeine. Even if you only drink coffee in the morning, the effects can linger. Try cutting it off after 12 p.m. Or better yet, take a short break from it entirely for a few days. Many people are surprised by how quickly their sleep improves. Movement is another game changer. You don't need to run a marathon. Even a short walk or some light stretching helps burn off stress hormones and prepare your body for rest later. As evening approaches, dimming your lights and switching screens to night mode signals your brain it's time to wind down. This shift from blue light to warmer tones helps melatonin flow naturally. And then there's food. Heavy, late meals or sugary snacks can keep your system too active. Opt for something light and calming if you're hungry, like a banana or a bit of yogurt. It's not about being perfect, just consistent. Sleep responds to rhythm, and your small habits are the beat. One of the most overlooked causes of waking up in the middle of the night is your own mind. You go to bed hoping for rest, but your brain is still full. To-do lists, worries, unfinished thoughts. And once you wake up at 3 a.m., those thoughts rush right back in. That's why mental unloading is so powerful. Before bed, take 5 minutes to do a brain dump. Grab a notebook or your phone and write down everything that's on your mind, even the small things, appointments, groceries, questions. Just unload it all. This simple act gives your brain permission to let go, knowing it's all captured somewhere. Then, visualize. Imagine yourself calmly completing each task tomorrow. No stress, no rush. You're not trying to solve anything tonight, just showing your mind that things are under control. Pair this with a calming ritual, like dimming the lights, sipping something warm, or doing a slow breathing exercise. And you create a clear boundary between day and night. Sleep isn't just about your body being tired. It's about your mind feeling safe enough to let go. So if you keep waking up with your thoughts racing, try offloading them first. If you've been waking up in the middle of the night and feeling frustrated, tired, or even hopeless, know this: you're not alone. Millions of people lie awake at 3 a.m., wondering what's wrong with them, blaming themselves, or assuming this is just how life is now. But what we've uncovered together is that it's not just bad luck or getting older. It's often a mix of hidden habits, overlooked biology, and emotional weight we carry into the night. From cortisol imbalances to late-night overthinking, from a poor sleep environment to stress that never shuts off, there are real reasons and real solutions. You don't have to get everything perfect. You just have to start somewhere. Maybe tonight, it's turning off your screens an hour earlier. Or maybe it's writing down your worries before bed. Even one change can begin to shift the pattern. Because when your brain starts to trust that the night is safe, quiet, and calm, it begins to let go. And slowly, your 3 a.m. wake-ups start to fade, replaced by a kind of rest that truly restores. Better sleep is not a dream. It's a practice. And now, you're already on the path.